Good morning, everybody. Welcome. I know there was no music and I know there was no fade because my switcher is doing things, but that's okay. We'll have it fixed tomorrow, I hope. Oh, tomorrow's Friday. I'm not even in here. Anyway, good morning. Welcome. PhotoJoseph's Photo Moment, the first live daily, and boy, is it ever live, photo show on YouTube every weekday morning, 9:30 a.m. Pacific. Watch live if you can. It's so much fun, like all these lovely folks in here who've been waiting ever so patiently for my switcher to start working again. We had a power outage last night, which is just never good. The switchers just don't like that, so it takes forever to get everything reloaded, and it's not reloading properly. So we're kind of halfway there on the switcher. Hopefully my presets actually work and I can switch scenes as needed. But good morning to everybody out there. Let's see who's here. Let's see. Oh, good, that works. Who is in the room today? We've got SRO Digital and John and Extender and Bart and Avi and Marvin and John. I see John and I see Trevor and I see D-Tech Logic and I see all kinds of people. Good morning. We're talking about cars because we had to talk about something. Sean Mark Nipper, good morning. Storyville Coffee, you have a set of them yourselves? It's good stuff. It is good stuff. Neil Higgins, Getty, greetings from Belfast. Ooh, that's cool. I love Belfast. It's a great city. I had fun there. Never able to catch the show live as you finish work at 5:30, but always watch later. Gutted you can't always watch live, but you're here live now. Thank you, Neil. I do appreciate you here. John Morby says, get a UPS, protect your kit. I do have a UPS on my main system. Power must have been out for a while because even that shut down. And I probably should have put a UPS on the switcher, actually. It's got a big mega power strip, surge, whatever that's called. But you're right. You're right. Yeah. Okay. Ryan, write that down, please. I gotta do that. I gotta buy a UPS for this switcher because this is no fun when it does this. Ezra says, I'm sure we've heard it enough time to play the music in our heads. Exactly. Time for a Tesla Powerwall. Ooh, can I get a Tesla car first? I really want that more than the Powerwall. Backup generator. All right, let's back down there, Ryan. We're not getting that carried away. All right, let's have a show, shall we? Today we're talking about Lightroom's new update, the 2015.12 update. 2017. I'm sure that I wrote 2015. As I say this, I'm like, I think I wrote 2015. Yeah, well, if I wrote, I totally did. Hold on a second. Okay, now I'm super confused because I kind of think that I just copied this from the Lightroom blog thing, and it's going to be hysterical if they wrote 2015. They couldn't have. They could not have. Let me see. Where is, find the right computer. I'm looking at my, it is. Look. It's not just me. Lightroom 2015.12 now available. It is the 2015.12 update. So, okay, saved. Why is it 2015? Why is Lightroom doing a 2015? Is it because the major release is 2015? Is that what that is? I guess so. Anyway, who cares what the version number is? The point is, the reason we're talking about this is because they added profile support for a bunch of Lumix cameras, which is really, really fun and exciting. Now, I've talked about this before on the show for the GH5. That was the first camera that had them, and we love that. And if you're a Canon shooter, Nikon shooter, even Fuji, I think, you're totally used to this. Lightroom has had color profiles for your camera, and what that means is when you look in your camera and you say, oh, vivid, oh, scenery, those same looks have been replicated in Lightroom under a preset, which is awesome, right? Because if you're shooting raw, but you like a look, so you dial in the scenery look and you then want to replicate that in the computer, but you don't want to have the JPEG or be starting from the JPEG, having that profile as a starting point is fantastic. I think it's really, really awesome to be able to do that. Lumix cameras didn't have that for the longest time, and then the GH5 was the first to do it. We did a show about that. We'll link to that here. We did a show about the GH5 getting this. Was crazy excited about that. And then today or whenever this update hit, yesterday or something, we learned that they added support for a bunch more Lumix cameras. So here, let's take a quick look at the web page. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger here, just so we can see the list. So let's see here. Color matching profiles 4. There's the batch right there. So you got, oops, a little bigger. The Lumix FZ80, the GF9, the G7, G8, GX8, and GX85. And so what I've done here is I've pulled in photos from my GX8 and GX85. And I think, did I get some from the G7? No, I didn't. I ran out of time. Doesn't matter. It's all the same. But I just wanted to show some different files. And so we're just going to look at them. We're going to play with them a little bit, and that's today's show. Because I'm really excited about it. I'm stoked that this is coming to more cameras. This, I think, it really is quite a nice big deal. And you got to remember, one of the things that you can do, we'll do this. I think I know how to do this. I know you can do it. I don't think I've ever actually done it, but I think I know how to do this. You can set it up so that on import, one of these profiles is automatically applied. So if you know that you like starting from X look, you can just do that, which is kind of great. So let's check it out. Let's see what we got here. Lightroom is still running, I do believe. Lightroom is still running. Let me reset this one, so we're starting from the scratch. And here's Lightroom. Now I know that I normally do these things. Whoops, that would be the wrong one. There's the one I wanted. I know that I usually don't do software ones here. That's normally for the photoapps.expert kind of stuff, but this is specific to Lumix. I tend to talk about a lot of Lumix here, so I figured we'll just do this one here. And it's more exploratory and fun anyway. Questions that are coming up. Teresa says, would the GX85 work with the G85? I don't know what you mean. I don't know what that question means. If you're asking about the profiles, no, because the profiles are going to be unique to the camera. I think you're asking, you must be asking profiles. Is the G80, G85 included? It's not listed, but the G8 is. Very different cameras, right? The G8 was, now I got to pull up the page again. The G8, I don't remember which one the G8 is. I've got the GX8, right? That's this camera. That's the GX8. The G8, I don't even recall which camera that is, honestly. The G7, I know, which G8 must be newer. I have a G7, I don't have a G8, and I do have the GX85. Now, I would assume the GX85 also means the GX80, because that's just the European counterpart to it. I wonder if you looked at this press release in Europe, if you'd see it differently. But I would not expect a profile to show up for a camera that's not listed here, because these profiles are camera specific, which they really shouldn't be. So you'd think that would be like a couple lines of code to change. But I mean, obviously try it. You know, we'll only know if you try it. But I can't, because I don't have those cameras here. Okay, let's just play. Let's just play. Let's see what this looks like. Let's get the right thing up and go back to the Mac. And let's start with, let's do a little filtering. Let's go metadata and search by camera. Let's start with some GX8 cameras. So I got a little variety of stuff. I've got a couple of portraits. I don't know, variety. I guess it's not that much of variety in this, but here we're going to look at this nice, simple portrait done for a local client, for a local auto repair shop, Siskiyou Import Services. Great place to take your car if needed. And let's see here, down here on the bottom right. So we're in the develop mode now. If we go to the bottom right, you'll see in here under profile, there's where they are. So you can ignore the ones above. Those are custom profiles I made. But here we got camera monochrome, camera natural, camera portrait, camera scenery, camera standard, camera vivid, and then photo moment or something else. So there's one that say camera. That's the ones we're looking at. So let's just, let's start with natural. Look, it's very natural looking. Let's go to portrait. A little different there. Nice little subtle changes in there. Slightly more saturation between the two, especially in the reds. All right. And then we got camera scenery. Good, nice little poppy that'll look good in some scenery. Standard. So what's the difference between standard and natural? Now we know that natural is the most neutral. These are subtle changes, as you would expect them to be. Vivid is going to be definitely a bigger change. Crunchier, higher contrast. Generally not great for portraits. And then let's go to the monochrome. And there's monochrome, standard monochrome. Now this is going to be the same ones for all of these shots here, because these are all GX8 shots. So let's say like this one, and maybe I want to go, let's go for portrait, because that actually worked quite nicely for that. Excellent. We'll go to this one. This one probably could use vivid. It's all crunchy and stuff. Let's see here. Vivid. Yeah, oh, that's cool. See, look, nice. Look straight at a camera, basically done. Oh, that was not the select. I grabbed the wrong picture, but that's okay. And let's do, I don't know, natural for this. We don't want to do crazy on this. Oh, that does look nice. Let's try the difference between that and portrait. Let's see. A portrait with a little more color in the skins. That's probably good. Good. That's obviously a portrait. Let's go for the portrait there. We'll also try the monochrome on that. That does look nice. I think it looks really nice. Adobe versus the Adobe Standard. Yeah, it really is. That's a big difference. I like that. I think that's very nice. Let's see. Monochrome. Black and white's always good. Sweet. Nice looking black and white. Okay, we'll leave that one there. This one, the kitty cat. Let's put the vivid on there. Yeah. Cool. See, look at that. Looking good. All right, now let's try different photos. Let's go back to the grid view, go to the GX85. And one of the big reasons I want to show this difference here is there are different profiles. So I'm going to develop here, and you'll see here this camera has not only monochrome, but the L monochrome, which is like low monochrome or something. Honestly, I don't know what the L stands for. I don't think it's even listed in the manual. But you can see definitely a bit crunchier as we go between these. Now this is the one that I used for the hero image on this, what do you call it, show. And so I'm going to do a quick little change here to add a little bit of a spot to her face. I tend to really like using these tools. Now we got to invert that and make that a little bit brighter. There we go, just the brightness, too much. I really like using these over dodge and burn brushes. I find them to be very effective, very subtle, just really overall works quite well. A little bit too much light, let's bring that down just a little bit there. And I think the overall scene could probably get brighter. We'll do a quick little change up here. Let's go in here and go to exposure of the whole scene, take that up a bit, watching my histogram. See, now her face is definitely too bright. Let's go back into that, grab that face one, pull that down a little bit. There we go, nice. Fun stuff. Here's something else that I love on this shot. It's hard to tell because of the gray background here, but if we look closely at the, oops, that's the wrong one. Let's get out of here. If you look closely at the sides here, wait, you'll see that that's a wall and that's a curtain, I guess, right? So I want to make those straight, so I love this. I don't know why I'm doing this here, but I am because I can. So you got your transform tools. I'm going to go for guided, and I'm just going to drag down a line on that side of the curtain and one across this side of the curtain, and boom, straightens that out nicely. Isn't that cool? I think that looks nice. Looks great. Looks fantastic. I want to add a little, let's add some crunch into her hand. Let's take this. I don't want to add too much on her face, but hands just, oh, I love adding crunchies into hands. Let's get rid of the exposure change on there, invert that, and take the clarity up a bit. And then we're take the exposure up to match. Add a little bit of crunch into the hand there. There you go, look at that difference. Cool. Maybe a bit too much. Yeah, it's probably a bit overdone. Anyway, that's fun. Love that stuff. Let's see here. Let's go for another picture. Food. Let's take a look at the food one here into the develop module in there. And let's try vivid on this. Is that going to be too much? Oh yeah, that definitely doesn't work. That's too saturated for that. Scenery, there's no food. The scenery actually works kind of nicely. I might want to just go with natural. I mean, you don't want to go crazy on it. It's food after all. Back to the standard. It really does make a big difference. Look, there's standard, which it just, there's a color cast to it that I don't like. But as soon as I go into standard, that looks really nice. Oh, I'm digging it. I'm super happy about these. Okay, so let's take a look at how to do these on import, which I'm, like I said, I'm pretty sure we can do. We're going to try that. But even if you don't, we'll look at how to apply the same thing to a bunch of them at once. But first, we're going to take a look at the comments and see what else is going on. Teresa says, it seems to me the main difference between the GX85 and the G85 is the exterior. That is correct. That is correct. It is largely the same camera. I don't know spec for spec what else is different, but it is largely the same camera. I usually refer to the G85 as a beefier water-resistant version of the GX85. I still love the GX85. It's too tiny. It's just such an awesome little camera. But yeah, if it doesn't show up in there, then it's probably not going to work, but it's worth trying. Technology Man says, no, I've just downloaded the update and the G85, G80 here in the UK is not supported. Do you have any information when this will be added? No, man, I didn't even know this was coming. This is all news to me. This was a surprise to me. So Adobe doesn't tell us anything. I mean, they might be telling people at corporate, but we don't know. So this is a happy surprise for me, and I'm stoked to see it, as you can undoubtedly tell. But no, I don't have anything else for you beyond that. Unfortunately, I am sorry to say. I didn't know this was coming at all, right? I was really excited to see this in the GH5. No one ever told me that they were going to be adding it to older cameras, so I'm really thrilled that they have added it. But yeah, otherwise I did not know. Okay. Let's see here. What do we do before? Oh, I need to load up some more of my pictures because this didn't happen when I did the reset on my switcher. So let's give me a moment here. Don't crash, don't crash, don't crash. It's the ATEM software spotting again, which is never a good sign. I'll just let that go. And let's go back to this. All right, so let's look at, let's say I wanted to do a preset. I think, so if I go to presets now, create a new preset, we're going to call this, we're just going to call this, now the thing is this has to be done per camera, wouldn't it? But we're going to call this, what was this, a GX8, was this 80, 85, 8, which one was this? This is GX85, yeah, GX85, name this thing properly, here we go. GX85 standard profile, we'll call that profile. And we're going to turn off everything except camera calibration. That must be there. That's the camera calibration. So we're going to leave that on. And the process version, that's kind of, you want that on. Folder user presets, and yeah, we'll create that. So now when I go to import, that should be everything I need to do. Go to import and select source. Let's see here. So these are already added in here. Let's see what it does. And then apply during import, develop settings, user presets. There you go, GX85 standard profile. So you'd have to do this for if you have multiple cameras for each camera. I know most people don't have multiple cameras, so you just do the ones for the camera, for the profiles that you like, save that, and then on import, it'll get that profile applied to it, which is awesome. Now another option, of course, that you have, canceling that, is to grab a photo here, and let's say I want to apply this same look to these two. I can, oops, actually we should do this in the develop mode, right? Let's go show up our thumbnails here. I can select that one, and a few different ways actually. I can just go to this picture and then hit the previous, which now copies this previous settings over. So you saw how that image changed. Let me undo that. Or I can go in here and hit copy, and what I want to copy, and I can select what I do and don't want to copy. So in this case, calibration. So we copy that, and then I'll go to these two here and hit Command V, paste, and it just pastes them in. And now both of these have that standard. Oops, I guess this one didn't. There's always a thing of, I always forget, how do you get it to do things to both of them? There's also the sync, which might be a better way to do it. But can you paste? Maybe you can't paste on them. So let's do it this way. Let's take this off of here. Let's get rid of that. Go back to standards. Now both of these should be at Adobe Standard. Oh no, it did get it. It got Camera Standard. My bad. So it got it, but we're going to show another way anyway. So Adobe Standard, that one's at Camera Standard. Okay, we select all three of these. Make sure that this one, the one that already has the preset, or the look applied to it, is the primary selection. You know that because it's brighter. And then we click on Sync, and we choose what we want to sync. We click Synchronize, and now this one has Camera Standard. Yes, it does, as does this one there. Super duper. There you go. So good fun. All in good fun. Really straightforward, really easy stuff to set up and do. Technology Man says, thanks, sorry, still looking into this. The profiles are showing up now. Oh, okay. Excellent. So G85, so then you're saying that the G80/G85 is working, even though that was not listed? Well, even though it was not listed. Please confirm. So the Technology Man, you're saying that the G80/G85 profiles are showing up for that camera. Please confirm that. That'd be awesome news. In the meantime, let's see, did my switcher crash? It didn't. So let's try again to load up some pictures here so I can show, wow, this is crazy. Why is this behaving so badly? We have to do a full reboot. Technology Man saying, yes, they are. Excellent. Well, that is really good news. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for looking that up and comparing. That is very exciting. Okay, this is what I wanted finally. It's now working. It's thinking. It's loading. It is. Here we go. So yesterday we did another live training. We did this one on tone mapping / HDR work on Affinity Photo iOS. And it was a very interesting experience because we found a bug, a pretty significant one, because the images were looking like rubbish until we figured this out. So I'm obviously going to be telling the company about this because this is no bueno, but it's great. So you can watch the video and you'll understand how to resolve that. So if you are using Affinity Photo iOS and you want to do HDR work in there, you want to watch this video. It's not up yet. It'll be posted up later today. Still got to do the edit and export and all that yada yada. But it'll be up there later today at photoapps.expert/live. What else? Did a podcast yesterday too. Which was released? Which one did we just release? We just released a new one, which now I have to find the title card for that. Ryan, what did we release yesterday? I'm completely forgetting. Where's my podcast? Looking for my podcast artwork. And where is it? Where is it? Is it? Title cards for the podcast. Ah, Adobe Spark. That's what it was. Excellent. Here. Let me bring this up. And here we go, Adobe Spark. That's what we did. Yesterday we released a podcast on Adobe Spark. Well, that was a really fun podcast experience as well. So we're looking at 3 different apps / services that go across the web and iOS, Android to come apparently. But yeah, so check that out. If you're interested, they're all free. They're really cool to work with. They're fun. If you have Creative Cloud, you get some more bonus features and capabilities on them. But neat little apps. Actually, quite neat little apps. Marvin is saying, can you do similar profiles in Affinity? I don't think Affinity has any camera profiles for any camera as far as I know. I haven't seen that. Then again, I'm usually working with the Lumix files, which usually doesn't have them, but I don't believe there are those camera profiles in Affinity. One of those things to consider. SR Digital says, Adobe don't list lens correction profiles for Lumix. Is that fully corrected with the lens performance data shared between the lenses, camera bodies during the body image processing? Yes. Basically what you're asking is why doesn't the camera list those, why doesn't the software list those lens profiles? Because they're baked into the raw file. That data, the lens correction data, is baked into the raw file by the camera, so the software doesn't need to apply it. This is why the photos generally don't need that correction when you look at them. There's still sometimes, especially on super wide ones, manual correction that you can do, but I think it has to do with being smaller sensors. It's just one of those things that kind of has to happen. But on the Lumix files, that lens correction is built in. So yeah, when you look at Photoshop or you look at Lightroom or any app that has built-in lens profiles, and you're going, why isn't my camera and lens listed here if it's a Lumix camera? Because you don't need it, because it's baked into the file. So that's why. That was that. Okay, is there anything else? I feel like there's something else that I'm totally missing, but I don't know. Oh, I know. I'm going to remind you guys again, that's right, I did want to do this, about the workshop at Image One. We bring this up because that is this weekend, this Saturday. Today's Thursday, so I'm on a plane. This is actually 48 hours from now, isn't it? It's 10 a.m. now. So 48 hours from now, I will be back in LA, and we are, wait for this to come up on here. There it is. The workshop is things you can do with your camera that you didn't know you could. I think the title got crunked a little bit, but that you didn't know you could do. So the whole thing, this is going to be fun. I am going to be using, what are we up to here? 19 people attending. Ooh, look at that. Numbers are up. Sweet. I have no idea if there's a limit. Anyway, you can go in here. You can read all about it, what we're doing. This is more details to come, but the details are already here, so don't worry about that. But yeah, it is, go to imageonecamera.com, and then you'll see an events link here. I'll show you how to get there, just to make sure you don't miss out. So go to imageonecamera.com. Let's go to the landing page. You might see, depending on when you go there, you might see it flip by. I think the third tile is my workshop. So if you just sit here and wait long enough, it'll pop up. There it is. Or you can go to the events menu, workshops. And then under workshops down here, there it is on tomorrow, or day after tomorrow's date. Click that. And you can RSVP on here. Just punch in a number, hit confirm RSVP. It's totally free. It's free to attend. So come by the workshop, check it out, and bring your camera, bring your batteries, bring full batteries and empty memory cards, because we are going to play with cameras, and then we're going to go out and shoot with cameras. Doesn't matter what you shoot. This is not a Lumix thing, even though I will be using my Lumix cameras, obviously. I will be talking about tech that we'll find in a lot of different cameras. Your camera might not have it. Your camera might be able to have it added. It might not have it at all. That just depends on what we're talking about. But we're going to talk about a bunch of different stuff that applies to a bunch of different cameras. So come on over, have some fun. And then we're going to do a photo walk afterwards, which is always a good time. So hopefully I will see you guys there. Anybody here going? Let me know if any of you think you're going. Marvin says, do you think I can get an Uber to take me? Oh, totally, Marvin. Yeah, I think it's the new Uber drone satellite via space drop. It might cost $2.5 million, but I'm sure you can get here that way. Yeah, let me know if you guys are going. I'm excited about it. It's going to be fun. And that store, I've never been to the store, to Image One Camera and Video. It's in Riverside, California. Sorry, I probably should have mentioned that. This is in the LA area for anybody watching who doesn't know. Riverside, Image One Camera in Riverside is one of the newest big camera stores, and if not the newest big camera store, and they're growing quickly. And the guy who owns the shop, Shadi, is just awesome. I actually don't know if he's going to be there because he's traveling right now, but he said he might be back. We'll see. Total character, super awesome guy. That's the shop. You might recall that when I was at NAB, I did the little mini video about the GH5 Vlog L upgrades. If you want to get an upgrade, you have to buy from any camera store. You buy it and they send you by mail a card with a number that you then punch in. It's like the most ridiculous process. We know this. Don't ask. But what they will do once you confirm your purchase is they will take a picture of the card and email it to you so that you get your code right away. Great, great service. Super nice guys, super guys. I'm really excited to go see the store. Carlos Mann says, Image One's service is great. Excellent. I always love hearing that. Thank you for sharing that, Carlos. Carlos, are you going to be there? Are you in the area? Come by, say hi. Even if you can't come for the whole thing, just come by and say hi. It'll be fun. And Trevor says, Shadi is a proud member of the most excellent mustache club. This is true. Shadi has got the mustache. He is such a character. I should bring this up here. Technology Man says, FYI, the G8 in Japan is the G85 in the US, G80 in the UK, G81 in Germany. What? Not confusing at all, but great news. Profiles are included. Thanks for bringing this to my attention. You're quite welcome. One of the cameras, I don't even remember which one it was now. It was called I think it was the GX85. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the GX85 in US, North America, GX80 in Europe, fine. In Japan, I think that was the GX7 Mark II. Figure that one out. Anyway, Doesn't matter. It's a great camera. That's what matters. Okay, I think that's it. We're going to call it today. That's all we got going on. Oh, I was going to do commentary. Nah, we're not going to do commentary. We got enough here. We're done. We're calling it. This is it. That's the show. We're going to wrap this thing out of here. Ryan is now scrambling to change the preset at the end so he can load the right preset, since we're not going to do the commentary. I just changed my mind. Thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. Again, if you're going to be at in Riverside this weekend, do check that out here. Let's do one more shout out while we're doing this, just so that Ryan has a little bit more time there. And don't forget the GH5training.com. Check that baby out. Just approved a bunch more videos last night. So good. Oh, which one was it I did yesterday that was so, I've been so many of these. There was one of them I did that I just went, man, that came out good. I don't know. A lot of them. I think came out good. I'm super proud of this. I'm really proud of this project. I'm really glad that I'm done shooting it too. Had to do a little pickup yesterday, but it was just a screen thing that was super easy. So those are all going in. SRL Digital is playing the music in your head. That is excellent because, well, the outbound music you'll get to hear. It's the inbound you didn't get to hear. All right, I'm out of here, guys. Take care of yourselves. See you tomorrow from somewhere out in the big wide world. Bye-bye.